Welcome to the Active System. In this training video, you will learn how to print labels on the Active System. Currently on your desktop or on your screen, you have a sample desktop with three icons in the center. The mouse cursor is now moving to the Active System icon, and we're going to double-click that icon, and now we're going to enter the password given to you by your Active System staff. And we enter the Active System to the roster screen, and we're going to go up to the top of the screen and make sure that the Diet tab is selected. Once it's selected, the command buttons below are for the Dietary Manager, and the button we're interested in is the Label button. So you click Labels and you enter the Labels program. So now we're going to talk about the different options that are listed on at the top of the label program and describe how to use each one of them. So if you want to begin printing labels, the first thing you would do is click the Set for All button, which is the orange button that the cursor is now on. And once you click it, it places in the boxes at the upper left the appropriate numbers to print all labels for all residents in your facility. The nursing units boxes contain 1 to 2, that's beginning nursing unit 1 to ending nursing unit number 2. Residents 1 to 99. We use 99 to make sure we catch all the residents on all nursing units. There are different numbers of residents on each nursing unit, so we use 99 to make sure we get them all. And then the box below that is start date, and we put the date that you actually want on the menu in this box, on the nourishment labels in this box. And it's called start date because down below you have number of days. You can print several days worth of nourishment labels at one time, and the system will start with the start date and count up 1 day and add 1 day to that date for each day of the nourishment labels that you print. Now below that you have 4 check boxes, and the first check box, if you check it, the photos are taken off the labels. If you uncheck it, they're put back on. If you check the second box, you get no frame around the labels. If you check it, uncheck it, the frame is put back on. If you check barcodes, the barcodes are placed on the labels. The barcodes contain the resident number and the nourishment period that is for the label is for. And you can use this with a scanner gun to scan this information into the Active System, and there's a program that will allow you to easily record the nourishment consumption for your residents using these barcodes. You can also record who refuses snacks, so when your nourishments come back to the kitchen, you can quickly scan them into the system and keep track of who is refusing their nourishments, and quickly find out, or through a period of time, find out who is refusing their nourishments, and use that as justification to change the nourishment and or DC it or decrease it in order to eliminate waste of nourishments. The fourth box is the snack menu. If you check that, you have a snack menu that shows up, and you'll notice above it you have the week numbers. You have a different menu for 5 different weeks that you can select. And you can edit this menu very quickly. Just click on it and start typing over to change it any way that you want. And you use the orange duplicate above snacks to assist you in duplicating the line above to the line below for the different diets. You notice the major diet categories are down the left-hand side of the menu, and you have 7 days worth going across. If you grab the horizontal scroll bar and move it to the left and right, you can see that you have 7 days worth of menus, and you can use the duplicate above snacks to duplicate the line above to the line down below and then begin editing it for the diet that it is assigned to. So those are the different ways that you can edit this snack menu to make it exactly what you want for your facility, and or to change it or update it based on the wishes of the residents in your facility. Now if we uncheck the snack menu, we go back to our labels. Up at the top, the mouse cursor is now on the bold checkbox. If you check that, the nourishments are printed in bold. You get less room width-wise to print using the bold print. So you can check it or uncheck it depending on what you want to use for your facility. Now below that is the label type. And if you click that, you'll see that we only have one label type that is installed as a default whenever the active system is installed. It's Avery number 5160 labels. Those are sheet labels with 3 across and 10 down on a page. Very common label, so that's why we installed that as the default for the system. But if you want to install another label, you would click a blank spot here and then begin adjusting the numbers to the right for that label, and simply type in My Labels or the name of the label that you have to insert your own label type. And you can see that you can choose between either one. Okay, now probably the best way to do this is to start with your Avery 5160, very common label, and then you can adjust the numbers to the right and down underneath across to make it fit exactly onto the labels that you're using. Okay, if we discuss each one of these, the top number, the number that has the label top at above it, is where the labels begin printing from the top of the page. So if you're printing your labels, the best way to do this is test it out on blank paper, print onto blank paper, and then hold it up against labels to the light, and you can see exactly where the label would print on your labels if you use the labels. That way you can format your labels without wasting labels. But anyway, if your labels are printing too far, starting too far up on the page, you can increase this number to move them down. Now notice this number is in twips, which in 1440 twips to an inch. So if you want to move them down 1/4 of an inch, you would increase this number by 400. If they're printing too far down and you want to move them up the page, you would decrease this number. And if you make it 0, it'll move it up 1/4 inch. Okay, so that's how you adjust how it prints up from the top of the page. The height of the labels is to determine how tall a label is. If you notice that the labels are creeping down the page as they print, that means the labels are too tall, and you would decrease the height so that they would print would stop creeping down the page. If you see that they are creeping up the page as they print, then you would increase this number to increase the height. And remember, you need to increase it quite a bit to make any difference. If you increase it by 50 or so, it would be very common. The width of the label determines how wide the label is. So if the label is printing over onto the next label, you would decrease the width. If you're chopping off your label words, you would increase the width. Remembering that 400 would increase it by a factor of 1/4 inch. Next is the number of rows, and that's easy, just simply the number of rows of labels on a page, usually 10 for your sheet labels. And then across is a whole column of numbers here. All 4 of these boxes below the across label apply to exactly where the labels start printing on each column. The first box here is 100. That means it starts printing at 100, which is very slightly to the right of the left edge of the paper for the first column of labels. And then the second column of labels will start at 3,900, remembering 1440 for 1 inch, so that's a little less than 3 inches to the right. And then the third column box here is 0. You would probably make that somewhere around 7,000 if you have 3 columns of labels. And then the fourth box would be 0 if you only have 3 columns, but if you have 4, you would increase that accordingly. But it's very useful to be able to determine or tell the computer exactly where to start printing each column, and that's what you do with these 4 boxes. And again, test this out on blank paper and hold it up to the light over a sheet of labels, and you can see where it would have printed if you use labels, and that way you can format this without wasting any labels. Okay. Then the check boxes below the label type are the nourishment periods, and you have 4 to choose from: 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and HS. And they are all checked here, meaning that when you print labels, you're going to get 10 a.m. labels, then 2 p.m., then 3 p.m., then HS labels. We have 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. because some facilities send snacks to one unit, afternoon snacks at 2 p.m. to one unit, and afternoon snacks to another unit at 3 p.m., so you have a choice. But I usually recommend marking all 4 so that any label, any nourishment that is in the system will print in if all 4 nourishment periods are checked. Okay, once you click Set for All and have your nursing units and residents set, then you would use this green button here to actually print your labels. And it would print to this printer that's in your printer driver up here at the top, to the left of the exit. If you click the down arrow there, you'll see a list of printers that are available on your computer. And to select one of them, you simply click it, and it stays selected until you change it. So this allows you to print your labels to any printer that is attached to your computer, or any printer that is available through the facility network will show up in this list also, and you simply check it, and that's where your labels print to. And when you're ready to print, just click the green button and the labels print. If you want to print the snack menu, you click the orange Print Snack Menu button, and the snack menu that you have selected using the week radio buttons here, whether you have week 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 selected, that's the menu that would print if you click the orange Print Snack Menu button. Okay, you also have this checkbox here that says routine HS snacks using snack list. If you check that, then your HS snacks will print on the labels using the menu that you have selected in the system. So in other words, instead of saying routine HS snack, it would say cookies and milk. On the if they're on a regular NAS diet, it will say cookies in milk if they're on a puree diet. It'll say vanilla wafers and milk if they're on low sodium, or vanilla wafers and skim milk if they're on low fat. So that's how you can print your HS snacks using this label. Using this checkbox is by checking that. Okay, now there are 2 other boxes here. One is checked to, if you check this, it uses the font in this checkbox to print your snack labels if you have it checked. Just an alternate font that you might find needed for some inkjet printers. Then, if you are using an inkjet printer, it's recommended that you check this so that when you print your menu, the right margin gets on the page, because inkjet printers do not print as far to the right as laser printers. So you want to check this box if you're using an inkjet printer, and you might find the need to check this box also if you're using an inkjet printer to print your snack menu. These 2 refer to snack menu printing, not label printing. Okay, then the last series of boxes are under the barcode, and this is used to format to where the barcode prints on the label, and you put the mouse cursor on the box and you can see what each box refers to, and you can adjust it according to where you exactly want the barcodes to print on the label. But it's pretty well set using using the numbers that are currently in there. Should give you a good barcode on your label that's easy to scan. And then you have types of barcodes. You can make this box here a 3 or a 6, depending on the type of barcode label that you would want. So you can experiment with that, but I would leave it at 3 unless you find the need to change it. Then you can try 6 to see if that works better for you in terms of scanning. And that's it. Those are all the different options you have for your labels. Once you set up the formatting in the boxes for formatting where the labels print, then they'll say set, and to print labels you simply go into the label program, click set for all, change the date to the date that you want on your label, and click print. And you're done, and your labels print out. So that's how easy it is to get your labels once you have the program set up and formatted for the sheet labels that you are using. That's everything you need to know about printing labels. We're going to click the exit button, go back to the roster. Please contact the Active Systems staff for any further questions or walkthroughs that you need to get started on printing your labels, and we'll be looking forward to hearing from you and working with you in any way that we can. Thank you very much for your time and interest in the Active System.